Yeah.
You do that every episode. Like the last couple, you've done this thing where where you know I'm about to do the first line of a bit, and you go, okay.
I'm just listening. I think I'm a better listener than you are.
I think it's because I listen to it more, because the start of the episode I listen to a lot when I'm editing.
Okay.
So I hear that okay. I hear it all the time. So it's just
It is a tick. I've been called on it. I've been like a hot girl called me on it at one point, and she made me uncomfortable to the point that I didn't really want to talk to her anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I couldn't stop it.
Well, I'll start.
But okay, you go ahead.
I'll start. You cue up your okay.
Interesting.
That's oh man, whatever happens, like like whether this gets cut out or not, that's my laugh from this episode. I can't even start the episode anymore. It's too funny. Interesting. Right.
You've got my attention.
Oh man, okay. I don't know how I can go from that laugh into the theme that I know I want to talk about, which is ridiculous. I think I'll try and do this, but a lot of people think I'm negative, like in my real life. I think you're quite negative. I actually think I'm quite positive, because despite my sort of monotone voice and the sound of me, I do think positively about things. And like one of those things is like, I hear people talk about global warming. It's like the end of the world, global warming. Okay. But I think on a positive spin sort of thought that global warming could cancel out the next ice age.
Okay.
Which would be equally bad for human life on this planet. So maybe, just maybe, one will cancel out the other, and we'll live quite happily in the middle at average temperatures and the odd storm.
But you know that they changed the branding of global warming. They're just calling it climate change now, because in reality it's sort of the first effect is gonna get warm for a bit, but that's gonna, it's a fine balance of all the elements on the planet that are sort of that are there floating in that balance. But once you change one, all the other ones get out of whack. So we don't really know what's gonna happen. We just know the balance is changing. So we don't know if it's it'd be fantastic. Yeah, I would love it if just we got like three extra degrees a year. I would be all up in that. I would stop recycling. I would eat more cows. But the thing is, we don't know that what's gonna happen. We're just kind of messing with the fine balance, and
but people are assuming the worst, and I'm assuming the best.
You're optimistic. Okay.
I'm thinking, let's not keep thinking the world's going to end. Let's stop living with the guilt of a future we don't know that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So like everyone's like, oh, do this, oh, clean up this, because this might happen.
Yeah.
Whereas I think, let's just chill out and do whatever we like, because this might happen.
Okay, but
which way do you want to live?
But I want to.
Bearing in mind, we'll be dead by the time the shit hits the fan.
I want to chill out, but I feel like if we chill out, that's going to reduce global warming. That's my main thing. If we did less, if we chilled out, then global warming would go away, because we would stop having as big of an influence on the planet. But the problem is people doing shit.
Well, what I mean is chilling out is don't worry about it.
Chill out and do a lot of things.
Still
chill
do
out
loads
and
of
be
shit.
as
Just
active
don't worry
as
about
possible.
don't worry about the consequences.
Chill out and work your ass off.
You can chill out about a specific thing. It doesn't have to be a complete ideology.
But but one of them is sort of unknown, and the other one is like it's between an unknown future that might be marginally better or incredibly much worse.
Yeah, but it's like if the
or
future's unknown,
sort of the predictable kind of but not the future.
but if the future's unknown either way,
But the future can be known and still the weather. The future can be unknown and the weather known. Like you don't have to have everything unknown. You don't have to. Well, it might rain fire or.
yeah, but like we could like achieve carbon zero, whatever the different targets are, and feel like we're not going to affect the planet. But then the planet could be headed for a major temperature change anyway. That's deadly for the human race or animals in general. We don't know. We don't know what the future holds for the planet. And so what I'm saying is, if we don't know what's going to happen either way, we might as well just live for today and just enjoy today without worrying about the future. Let the future people worry about the future when it happens to them.
We're not enjoying today. That's my first.
Because of the worry about the future.
No, because of the way too much shit we have to do every day. I feel like that's the problem.
Like recycling. Like we could just chill out about that.
No, we're not enjoying it because like we're making shit obsolete. We're making cars that are gonna break down because we want to sell other cars within 2 years.
Yeah.
And we're not making anything that lasts because that doesn't economically. Yeah, that's a problem. So we're going to work to kind of just produce the same old light bulb.
I mean, we could make rules about sustainable products or quality products that in the interest of us just like buying stuff that lasts like the old days, but it doesn't have to be attached to this sort of doom view of the future. But it could just be, no, you need to make decent stuff for people so they're not buying it again and again for profits. Like, you don't have to attach any sort of environmental issues to it. You could just we could chill out about that aspect is what I'm saying.
There's always a chance that like a comet is going to hit the planet and we're all going to die in the next 5 days, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't save up for your pension.
Do you worry about that? Like they tested in the UK, they tested the sort of government like warning system on mobile phones. Did you get that test on your phone a few weeks ago?
Maybe I don't really look at my phone.
We got a warning. It was on all the news channels saying that this time on this day, the government's gonna message all the phones with like one of those like amber warning type things, And I when I see that, I just think, are they testing that because they know they need to make an announcement soon? And like, what is that?
I think they're just basically they're testing the system because then they want to sell it to advertisers.
Yeah, I think
everybody just gets the message about the new Coca-Cola bottle.
Yeah, on sale at your local store down the road. Yeah, because I remember when I was in the US living on my mobile phone, I'd get like warnings come to my phone about like local paedophiles and all sorts of random things, like there are like there are criminals in this area or something. I forget the wording of it, but there was definitely like warnings that were not sort of like global threats. It was quite smart. I was like, it's only a matter of time before someone's saying washing machine for sale.
People take
$50.
You build it and then people take advantage of it.
Yeah. And then before you know it, there's comedy shows. Open mic near your house tomorrow, 2:00.
But I think it's to do with the wars mostly, and probably some sort of we're gonna have some raining fire probably in the near future.
Meteorite. They say that
not meteorites. They say like Venus used to be like an inhabitable planet, but then whatever happened, what's underneath
and Mars,
the surface of the Earth kind of went on top of the surface of the Earth. But Venus is a better example because Venus is a way more fucked place than Mars is.
Yeah. But like I heard somewhere that the snakes and things that are carved into sort of pyramids in Mexico are actually because they're feathered serpents. And I read this thing that said that So have you heard of this? Like the feathered serpent's like some sort of mythical sort of being that some people think's aliens and all sorts, but it's essentially a snake that can fly. Or a reptilian.
But I do know that all the dinosaurs, they used to have feathers. It's like a fairly recent discovery.
But the thing I read about was that comets and things, when they're hitting the Earth, they look a little bit like snakes because they've got a head and a big tail.
Okay, yeah.
But they're in the sky, so they're flying, and that's where like the feathered serpent thing may have come from, is by regular sort of meteorites hitting the Earth, like smaller ones, obviously not ones that are world killers or planet killers or whatever they're called. But maybe that's anyway. That's a thing I read.
Okay.
I forget how we got there, but
I heard basically like chickens. They're dinosaurs. Like all the birds are just came from dinosaurs.
Yeah.
That makes me really sad about chickens, because that's sort of like dinosaurs used to be sort of the dominant species on the planet, and look at what they become. They like chickens are probably the saddest animal on the planet right now. It's sort of it's breeded for our pleasure and for their suffering, and we don't care at all. And so there's no other sadder animal, right?
When you say bred for our pleasure, it just sounded so different to just food.
But it's not just food. It's our pleasure. It's not, because it's to the point that it's not good for us, and we're still eating it because it's fun to eat.
Yeah,
it's the funnest food.
It's
that's
the
why people
most boring of all the meats.
It's but chicken wings. That's sort of the
maybe the wings, but like generally, like chicken's like meh.
You think it's the most boring? Okay.
Well, it's the most ubiquitous in food, isn't it? It's like it's the most used thing.
Yeah.
And so it's not like.
But I think it's just the wings and the legs that are the most used. Most of the chickens, I think, get thrown out.
Do they?
They get fed to other newer chickens.
In America, that's the first place I remember where I bought vegetarian eggs. I always remember, like, wondering what the hell that was, and someone said to me, "Oh, it's just because chicks are fed other chickens in some farms in America." Whereas I'm like, I'd never heard of a chicken that had anything but grain and stuff in the UK. That I always thought when I grew up.
As far as I know, chickens, like free range chickens, they would eat like mice and shit.
Oh yeah, maybe, but like just normal things, like not themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, so back to my theme.
Okay.
Can I get you on board with this?
It's hard. I think I can't be that optimistic. I'd like to sort of get on board with it, but I'm not. I'm very pessimistic. That's the one thing I'm the most pessimistic about. Like more than Gaza, more than anything. It's just I feel like none of it matters, because we're all gonna die from global warming within the next couple of decades.
So they've been saying a couple of decades for a few decades, haven't they? When I was a child,
no, they've been saying like hundreds of years.
The end of the world in 50 years, and now we're like quite a few decades closer to that.
Oh, there's always
it's still the same distance away.
I think they haven't been talking about the end of the world because of global warming. They've been talking about the end of the world because it's a fun thing to talk about, and like everybody, and it's a good news story. So every little calendar that they found from prehistoric history, they made it like a movie.
Whether you come on board or not, I think my thought is the world can be as anxious as anything. I am going to just sit there thinking, thank God for climate change, or else we'd be living in snow. What's your thought?
Like I honestly,
let's move to you.
No, I would let's stay on this one for a second, because I honestly had my like a New Year's resolution of just act like global warming isn't happening. Like, no, it's happening, but act like it isn't, because I am too sad about it. I feel like I am not really saving up for my pension for that reason.
So just come on board with my thoughts then.
But if I came on board with your thoughts, then I would have to save up on for my pension. Like, I would have to worry about my old age, but right now I'm not worried. I think even my career, if I keep it going for another 10 years, then it's good. Then it's sort of, the world is going to change enough that I'm not going to need a career.
You really think it's going to end that quickly?
I think there's a chance. I don't know. It's probably like a.
And you're putting all your chips on that bet. You're like, I need it to.
But it's come on. There's like a tornado in Romania today. Like France burned this year. It's getting closer.
Okay, but
Spain
apart from
is
the good
fucking-
news, what bad has happened?
LA burned down like in January.
And apart from the more good news, is there any negatives to this?
Nothing.
I mean, Romania, maybe that's the bad thing, but France and the LA, the world could deal with.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's a good joke. Let's move on to my thing. So this is my thing.
Let's move away from the good jokes.
What bothers me a lot is people kind of putting too many spices on meat and stuff. Like I don't generally I know like generally I know it's like a racist thing to yell out against spices, because in the UK fucked over India, and they're like racist people that use that as a end to kind of say something negative about like India and shit. But like a parenthesis, I'm not British, so I can shit on spices, and it's not racist from my behalf. It's just I think it's just I think it's just kind of rude towards the animal that you're killing. Like you're killing an animal and then you're not even tasting it. I feel like that's it should be frowned upon. I feel like use spices, but use it on bread. If you've killed the animal, at least taste it now. At least come on, enjoy. At least know what it tastes like.
Well, I always
think
think of when I think of that, I always think of Gordon Ramsay, and he'll say the better the meat, the less you need to do to it.
Okay, yeah.
And so like, if you've got a restaurant that's struggling, you just need to be a better chef, because you're dealing with like the cheaper cuts of meat, the things that are harder to make taste well, or you've got to spice them to make them taste well. Whereas if you're buying the best cuts, you don't need to do any of that. So it's actually a lot easier to be a good chef with good meat. So that's all I think of. And so in terms of that argument, I'm like, yeah, I'd agree with you. Taste the animal, but some animals that we farm now in mass farming production ways, chickens we were talking about earlier, like they're farmed in such a way that they're tasteless now. Whereas like when I was a kid, that was less of a thing, and so you needed less spice because.
But even my point
the animals were worth tasting.
But my point still stands. Like you're now at least before you kill the animal, so you tasted it, but now you're making the animal have like a horrible life and then killing it, and now not even tasting it. Like you can what's the point of going through all that process if you can just kind of spice up like a potato and it's going to taste the same?
See, I think your argument should be get rid of the farming processes that create the need for spice. The spice, in my eyes, is doing a good thing.
I don't think the spice. I don't think.
But we could get rid of the spice.
I don't think
requirements.
I think spices are sort of addictive in a sense. Like it's like drugs. If you're gonna use drugs, just regular life doesn't feel like anything after you've tasted the sort of the ups and downs of life of the drugs. The ups and downs of life are just kind of boring and annoying, so you kind of get hooked on the drugs. But it's the same with spices. Like if the more spices you use, the more you can't taste anything without them. The more sort of your tongue is
and then there's
just used to that.
There'd be a period of time where if you got rid of the spices, it would take a while for your taste buds to revert back to actually. I remember like taking sugar out of tea, for instance. Like I remember I used to have sugar in tea when I was a kid, and I remember when you take sugar out of tea, it tastes horrible, but after a while the tea starts to taste nicer again.
Yeah. It's all trained.
So it is just a matter of time. But I'm saying that with good things. I think my argument still remains that yes, if you took the spices out and you spent a bit of time eating without it, it would start to taste a bit better again. But I do think most food products, general access, middle of the road sort of buying from like the big supermarkets, most of that food is pretty bad now comparatively.
It is pretty bad. It's still good. I still don't really use. Like you can use salt. That's like scientifically we kind of need it and so on. But besides salt and even pepper, I feel like it's overkill.
Salt brings out the flavor of a thing.
Yeah,
it doesn't change the flavor.
Yeah.
So salt.
I'm saying
you have to add a lot of salt. And there is a lot of salt in a lot of that mass-produced meat now.
Yeah.
To make it tasty.
But I think you can still use like all the spices, and all the spices they do have like the whole like health benefits and so on. But you use them on potatoes, use them like on vegetables. Don't change the taste of the thing that you just killed. I feel like you just be aware that there are
fruitarians out there that would argue you've just killed the potato. But
are there?
I believe there are. Yeah, there are people that. I
think that's more of a conspiracy theory. That
maybe,
but
there are people that believe. And there are people that I think only eat like fruit that's fallen from trees and stuff, so they won't pick it or dig it up. But they'll only eat. I don't know how popular that movement is, but it does exist.
Okay.
As far as I know.
Yeah, that's.
So they think like picking an apple from a tree is murder.
You know when you have those people that are weirded out by vegetarians, I am weirded out by that.
Yeah, me too.
Come on, but we need to eat. We need to eat something.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's like every animal's eating something, and some of those animals are literally chasing it down and slaughtering it to eat. So, like picking an apple just feels like.
I eat a lot of meat, but I really have a lot of respect for like vegetarians and stuff. Like I tried being a vegetarian for like a couple of weeks and so on. Yeah. It's fun. But eventually
it's fun.
It's fun. But
I just think that if you believe in evolution, like Darwin's evolution, that apple trees, if they were being murdered on such numbers, then surely over the centuries they would have developed some sort of ability to move or to grow spikes or like prevent us getting to the fruit a bit. Like I think maybe if any fruit is alive, then it would be like raspberries. They're like, we don't want you to eat us.
Oh yeah, there are some, I don't know, like mushrooms, but then like garlic. Garlic is basically the taste of garlic is a self-defense mechanism. It's just that we learn to enjoy it.
Yeah, there's no
rescuing
yourself against humans. Like you literally have got to kill them, or it's not happening. Even like things that kill you will find a way of cutting the killing part out of you. Like what's that fish that they have in Japanese restaurants where it can kill you if you get any of this part of the body in you?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Some puffer fish or something. I'm just like, why would you even?
Why would you want to risk it?
Who would die? Who would die from eating that puffer fish and then go, you know what? I'm willing to gamble that if we only eat that bit.
But it's not I think it's not a gamble. It's more of you're proud of how much you're spending because you're paying the chef top dollar.
It's just how they
and then how desperate
initially
and how desperate you are to be like the rich people that you're gonna gamble to get. Well, he's a beginner chef, but I have to taste it. Rich people are having it, so I need it as well.
I get that. It's just that how they discover it in the first place.
Oh,
how you discover in the first place that a part isn't poisonous and a part is, and if you discovered the poisonous part first, who the fuck goes near that fish anymore to find the bit that's not?
But I don't think it happened within a week. I think it happened within like a couple of 100 years of people kind of kept dying, and then one of them was.
Like, and at some point there was someone that was so poor and the only food they had access to was the deadly fish, and I thought, well,
But I think it was more
work
like
this out. We'll all eat one bit and see who's alive.
Like people kept eating the deadly fish, but they wouldn't communicate in between them, and at one point, sort of information, sort of coagulated. I think that's a lot of what
someone
happened.
Was like,
let's go back to the
Jack.
If you go to like, do you know those? I'm gonna say Jamaican restaurants, but just like a lot of restaurants, they do bother me. I went to like a.
But let's stick to Jamaican. Jamaican me racist. Sorry, it was such low hanging fruit, that one. But go on.
I think I was like at a Mexican place at one point, and I said, "Give me the burrito, but without the hot spices." Because again, I want to taste the fucking burrito. I don't want to taste the one thing that makes everything else tasteless. And the person kind of said, no, we can't make it without the hot spices. And I figured,
Some of these
stupid
restaurants
are you?
nowadays can't serve you unless it's the way it's put on the button on the till.
Unless
it's
unless
like-
you're crying, we can't. You're not gonna
Yeah.
enjoy it the way we want you to enjoy it. We want you to leave here in tears.
And so, did you have it the way it was
No,
supposed to?
I think I left or I ordered something else. I don't remember. I think I think it was close enough to the gig for me to not have time to find another restaurant.
Do you go into like sushi restaurants and say, "I'd like that sushi, please, but can you take the seaweed off the outside and
And
the
please
meat and stuff in the middle?
cook the salmon, please."
I want rice, and and cook the salmon. I'll have that separate."
I get the parallel with the sushi that makes sense, but it does it's not the same thing as taking out something that changes its taste completely. Like the sushi is the simplicity of it. I'm not making people do something more. I want people to do something less, and they kind of go, no, we have to do it more. If we don't do more, you can't have it. It's impossible for us to not do more.
If this isn't a burrito, it's basically inedible. It's like, but that's like curry, isn't it? Like the foundation of curry that everybody knows, which is the spices were added initially to cover the fact the meat was bad.
Yeah. I get it from.
But now we don't have those reasons. Well, certain restaurants do, but yeah, it's for the most part you don't need to add either the spices at all or as much as you do.
Yeah, so I do feel like there's a racist connotation to, like, whenever I complain about spices, I feel like people really want to bring racism into the conversation, and I want to bring just humanity into the conversation. No, spices are stupid. If they're on, I get they're healthy, and I get you still need to use it, but not on meat, not on the thing that you kill. It feels like. It's
you
almost,
just think it's an insult.
It's like like sexually molesting somebody, but also kind of
But putting a mask on them.
Yeah, putting a mask on them. Like, come on. It's like sexually molesting a child, but making them look like an adult before that. Like, come on, just fuck an adult. Why do you?
I was imagining you attacking an ugly woman, but asking her to like look pretty. It's just like, but you were like,
just taking her to like cosmetic surgery first.
It's like, if you're not asking permission to sleep with her, just pick a better looking one. But like, it's
just almost like capturing the woman,
horrible.
taking her to your basement, and then bringing plastic surgeons.
It's just, oh man, I wouldn't be surprised if that ever happened. The things that I always remember, that story in the news of this just came into my head as you said that, of the guy or girl that was in their garden doing the garden or whatever, and they just heard screaming from a house. This is in America somewhere, and then a girl come running over the road, and it was a girl that had been locked in the basement of her house. I think it was her father that kept her and her sister or something down there and had children with them as well. Like, it was like awful shit. But they've been locked down there for like decades, and I think the neighbour remembered the kids.
Oh fuck!
And then they went missing or whatever. Or I don't know what the story was, but they'd been locked down in the cellar for like decades without the neighbours knowing. Like, this sort of shit comes.
I'm like far away from it, not to care, but like if you're the neighbor, it must sort of bother you for the rest of your life.
How could I not have?
Yeah.
How could that go under my nose so easily for so long?
Kept inviting the dad over to the barbecues.
Yeah. Who was that European guy? Fritzl. Wasn't he? Was one with his kids in his.
Was it the kid? I thought he was just a stranger.
Was it strangers?
I don't know.
I suppose at some point does it fucking matter? Like, it's like.
Yeah. It's almost kind of more humane if it's your kid, because then you're almost a bit punching yourself in your balls.
Yeah, at least they're not missing their dad.
That's a funny joke.
It's like insult to injury.
It's probably not for the children, but for the world, it's better if you do that to your children than if you do it to other people's children.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like the overall impact, you're keeping it in the family quite
Yeah.
literally. Yeah, it's oh man, it's mental.
But
Well, this went.
I think I think
this
putting
changed from spice on meat, didn't it?
I think putting spices on meat is kind of the same. Only we don't care about the animals that we're killing. But it's not that far from the other things we talked about.
Yeah.
But we just don't care. We don't really have. We still feel like we're superior.
From fucked up old men imprisoning children in basements and sexually abusing them for decades, it's very similar to putting spice on meat.
I think it is because you know, at the end of the day, cows aren't less special than we are. We just treat them shittier. We kill them and then we put too much paprika on them.
See, that's a shit spice as well. Like, see, I think there should be there are certain spices that are worth more than others.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like paprika.
I quite like it from like Hungary. Paprika is the one I sort of.
Is there any spice that you'd like let slip through that you think?
Like even like there's like a lot of the spices they use in India. I'm still getting used to them because we didn't really have them growing up. So it's still like turmeric. It's just kind of. I haven't found like a dish where I like it.
Yeah, is there any taste to that? It's just the stuff that stains your
I know that that's like it has to my taste buds. It has a weird taste, and it ruins.
But is there any spice you'd be like, I'd let that one pass? That was
no. I feel like just salt on meats, and then you can spice any vegetable any way you want until we grow conscience towards plants. But for now, it's fine to spice plants, to spice vegetables, for the next 100 years, if obviously global warming doesn't get us, which it will.
Yeah, I think I think vegetable curries are better anyway.
Okay.
I've always preferred vegetable curries to the meat ones, so maybe you're right, but I do I can only agree with your thoughts.
Okay.
Based on mass farming, that's based on if we got rid of that. Because then I'd be like, yeah, definitely don't put anything on anything. But at the minute, there are certain meats out there, and I know I said it earlier, but there are certain meats out there that there's no way you'd eat them unless it was spiced because they're just terrible.
No, it's still
so
good.
Get rid of abusive farming methods to animals, and get rid of spices is the amendment I would make.
No, I feel like they're still fairly as tasty. Only to get more hemorrhoids the cheaper the chicken is.
You care about the respecting the animal that's dead, but you don't want to respect them in life. You just want to respect them.
No, I would like to be a vegetarian, and I do feel fantastic.
So agree with me.
Whenever I have a few days,
we'll get rid of spices, but we'll also get rid of mass farming that produces bad.
And then basically get rid of eating meat altogether.
No, we'll have meat. We'll have just nice meat that doesn't need spice.
Yeah. I guess for now it's fine.
Interesting.